project for the mics.
My name is Simon Franglen, and I'm the composer for Avatar Fire and Ash and the Avatar sequels.
Cameron Project Big Old Bell Media. What was it like diving into this brand new world of Avatar where everything is basically built from the ground up?
Well, I've been doing it now. This is my third Avatar.
Right.
2 as composer, 1 as the lead arranger. Every one is always, I mean, with Jim it's fully immersive, so there is an Avatar family and he gets me involved really early on.
Right.
So I read the scripts for 2, 3, 4 and 5 December 2017. Started writing music that you see on screen in early 2018. So I don't know if you've seen Way of Water. So Neytiri opens singing the song chord.
Yes.
She had to sing something.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I have to write something for Zoe to be able to sing.
Right.
And we went through the process. There's other things that happened in the film musically that were on screen first. And they had to be done as a first thing. But the joy of that is that I then spend time on the set with the actors. I go drinking with the stunt team, which is not so. But the bad side is when the stunt team starts singing your songs. That may not be so good. But you work with. We had a thing called Culture Club that we developed for 2 and 3, and we will have another Culture Club for 4 and 5. Culture Club was me, the costume designer Deb Scott, production designer Dylan Cole, prop master, and we had 2 researchers. Because the whole point, Jim says, you can't just make rubbish up. There had to be a reason why somebody would do something. So, for instance, Deb Scott's every single thing you see that is a costume on Avatar exists in real life. There are real costumes. These move because they have seen how the fabrics move in real life. Anything I wrote that was on screen had to be based on, I was taking things saying, well, this is the Apaches and certain islands in Vanuatu do certain things like this, and I would say, this is why I'm referencing these ideas that I'm taking from around the world. There will be different bits,
right?
And so that you want to build a world, and the world has to be coherent. So Culture Club was there to say, here's Dylan Cole doing these beautiful designs for everything that you see that is Na'vi or the creatures. And the music has to reflect that. I can't just write in a vacuum. And that's an important part of what makes Avatar, is that the level of detail that we go to is really, really unbelievable. And we have the resources to do it. Now, I'm not saying it does make it the world's most expensive movie, but that, on the other side, means that you get something that is unique, because so much care is put into everything that we do. Now, as a composer, I'm also lucky that I have a director in Jim who loves music, loves what music can do to his films, has had a history. And I'll take you back to Terminator, the right?
Best.
That was an essential part of what made Terminator Terminator. It doesn't have to be, he understands that visceral quality that music does. My job is to make you feel more, is to enhance the emotion. Your visuals and the words are telling you what to think, and I'm there to tell you what to feel. And that's sort of roughly where it goes.
Yeah. Would you say with the Culture Club, does it make composing a lot easier for you on your side, as far as having all these different references to go to?
I knew I was going to be writing a big orchestral score, but with Avatar, for instance, on the one that I'm finishing now, and I've done an hour and a half, it's already recorded. 2 weeks' time I start recording, it's another hour. There's going to be 3 hours of music in a 3-hour film because Jim likes music. The sound of cinema is the sound of an orchestra, I think, in some ways. And big theme. I'm lucky that I have a director who loves themes. That makes a big difference. But then there's the colours that you bring in, and in Avatar, there's a lot of vocal work that happens. You hear a lot of choral work, both the Na'vi vocals. There's a very distinctive vocal sound. But there's also choirs. There's also solo singers who are using. But I'm also using I designed instruments, Culture Club. So on Avatar 3, you will actually hear some of these instruments and see something in the background. I designed instruments for people to play that are based on the fact that they're 3 meters tall and have 3 fingers. Right? And then I just sketched them out. Then Dylan and the art department made them beautiful. Then they 3D printed them for me. And I could get them to play. I can now actually make those instruments, have those, and use those instruments to record the score. We have custom Navi instruments that exist that are unique to the world, because that was part of the indigenous sound of the thing. Why wouldn't you go to that thing? Why would they use the same instruments?
Right.
And so there are things like that. That's the level to which we go.
Did you have to create keys, pitches, notes that
Yeah.
they could?
So obviously we all have the same frequency range, and this is also remember, this is a movie, and they speak English on the movie here, they speak French in France, they speak German in Germany, and they speak Chinese in various different Chinese languages in China. So there are many artifices here. One of them is that I need it to be something that doesn't turn people off. So you have a musical language that we all expect to have. So there's an element of that. But for instance, what I can do in the Wind Traders, the theme that you heard today, that uses a unique scale that I created for the Wind Traders, and that's one of those things that I went with them to create part of their sound. The Wind Traders are more sophisticated. They travel around the planet, and therefore, because they're more sophisticated, I gave them a slightly more sophisticated musical motif. And that was a nature of, they are traders. They sort of assimilate cultures around the planet. I wanted that to be reflected in their themes.
For a 2.5 hour score in a 3 hour movie, how many hours of music did you have to?
Oh no, I've got a 3 hour score for a 3 hour movie.
No, but how much did you have to make and create?
So on Avatar 2, I did 10 hours of demos.
Okay.
I did 5 hours with full orchestra.
Okay.
Because the problem is that sometimes things get edited or cut. Now sometimes we can try and edit it down, but often we actually can't, and you have to re-record it. But also there will be things where, Jim, I might record something and then go, say, I've changed this. I'm not sure this works as well as it did. What do you think? And I go, yeah, you're right. So we write something new. So there was 10 hours of demos, sometimes because I wouldn't play something to him till I was ready. And I did, 11 versions of the Fire Can theme before I played it to Jim. Then he said, yes, I love that. I did, the Met Hyena Village theme, the theme for which is the theme. That theme I did 7 versions of when they first jump, and when they jump into the water in Avatar 2, that was a number of versions. So that's why you have a lot of things where you just throw things away, that's not good enough, and so on. But then I did 5 hours with the orchestra, and we ended up with 3 hours of music for our 3 hour and 6 minute running time, I think it was. So I got 6 minutes off for good behavior. This coming one is going to be 3 hours, and at the moment, I don't know how much time I'm going to get off.
Does it ever shock you what gets selected and what doesn't? Like, is it a?
Now I'm on my 4th film with Jim Cameron.
Okay.
So you hope that my antenna is beginning to get tuned in. He's got a ridiculously good sense of what makes somebody want to watch a movie. We understand his amazing visual sense, his amazing sense to it, but the thing that I think is his super strength is his ability to put himself in the cinema seat. When we do reviews, he has to have popcorn. Is to put himself in a cinema seat and remember why he paid the $10 or the $15 or the $20 or whatever it's going to be for that movie theater ticket. And that is something that I think people underestimate. He just says, I try and put myself in the audience's seat. Would they want to pay money to go and see this? Would I want to go and see this movie? And that, I think, is the same thing when I do the music. He's looking at it, and he will often say to me, move that 8 seconds this way or move that. He's constantly coming up with things that you go, well, no, it's perfect, and then you do it. You go, oh, you're absolutely right. And there is a reason that Jim is Jim. You know, there is nobody else like him. You know, that ridiculous attention to detail. That there is this funnel with 3,500 people that goes down to 1, and Jim sees everything. And like with him and me, when we are working on music, time stops and we only talk about music, and that is something that I think is also that he really cares about all the different parts of his film, and I find. Visually, you know, it's one of those things where you just go, every day is a treat. You will go into the studio, you start, and you just sit there going, because new renders will appear, and you go, this is so cool. And it doesn't matter, you just sit there, like Varong, you may have seen the poster of this, right? I cannot wait for you to see Fire and Ash, because it is going to blow people's minds. I mean, just story-wise, but also the visuals make Way of Water seem like A1. Wow. Okay, so there is a massive step up in terms of the way you see things. You know, you feel these performances by these actors. And remember, everything you see on screen is a real performance by a real actor. It's not somebody who's, you know, they've not done a voice-over, they've actually acted. I've been there on set, you know, when I was doing, and watched these performances, and then you see this thing come to life, and it is astounding. The actors, really, I cannot speak highly enough of what you're going to see.
Right on. That's great.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Sorry, I was wittering.
No,
sorry.
You're fine. Thank you so much.
You know, I do have kind of just a real kind of general question. Kind of walk us through that first time you saw your name scrolling up for a James Cameron movie. Like, how did that feel?
You have to be proud.
It's got to be good.
You have to be. I mean, I've worked on a lot of big movies in my life, but I was usually behind the scenes, and you know, that thing that moving forward is, you know, obviously it's a threat, and obviously I'm very proud. And also he allows me to experiment, he allows me to make mistakes, he allows me to try and move the music forward. I think what you'll see on A3, I've done stuff for the Ash that I think people who have heard it think sounds completely unique. And I'm hoping that it doesn't sound like 2 and it doesn't sound like 1, but it remembers their DNA. You know? And so I'm very pleased, and I'm also exceedingly pleased with some of the things we're doing. I mean, not thematically, I love it, but also I think sonically, I've built a world that I think is people are going to enjoy.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Very nice to meet you all.
You as well. Thank you. All right, this last one.
I want to tell.
Titanic.